Alright, Pretender here, back with another Honkai Star Rail guide, and today I'm here with the full build guide for one of the characters, a part of the selection banner that will be rerunning in 2.5, being Black Swan. So this video is going to be taking you over her kit, Eidolons, Lightcone options, Relic options, and then stat recommendations on the Relics. Black Swan is another character that has been seen to gain more and more value as the game progresses thanks to the unique things she can do. From being a dot unit and also being a really good debuffer unit, she has a place on a lot of teams. And so today I'm going to show you how to build her. I do plan on having a build guide for everyone that is going to be a part of the 2.5 update. Feixiao is already out, you can check that out, same with Robin. You are now watching Black Swan. Soon there will be one for Kafka, one for Lingsha, and one for Mose. I do not plan on doing one for Topaz as I already do have one when her first rerun came out and everything in that guide still holds true. The only thing that came out as an update will be in a pinned comment, and so if you're subject for Topaz, you can check that video out. And yep, that's all I gotta say before I get to the video. Drop a like, drop a sub, hit the bell icon for more videos like this, and let's get straight into it. So Black Swan is a wind character following the path of Nihility. Her basic attack deals wind damage equal to 60% of Black Swan's attack to a single target enemy, with a 65% base chance of inflicting one stack of Arcana on the target. Additionally, when attacking a target that suffers wind shear, bleed, burn, or shock, there is respectively a 65% base chance of inflicting one extra stack of Arcana on the target. Her skill deals wind damage equal to 90% of Black Swan's attack to a single target enemy and any adjacent targets. At the same time, there is a 100% base chance of inflicting one stack of Arcana on the target enemy and the adjacent targets. Additionally, there is a 100% base chance of reducing the defense of the target enemy and the adjacent targets by 20.8%, lasting for 3 turns. Her ultimate inflicts Epiphany on all enemies for 2 turns. While afflicted with Epiphany, enemies take 25% increased damage on their turn. Additionally, if enemies are also inflicted with Arcana, they are considered to be simultaneously afflicted with Wind Shear, Bleed, Burn, and Shock. After Arcana causes damage at the start of each turn, its stacks are not reset. This non-reset effect of Arcana stacks can be triggered up to 1 time for the duration of Epiphany, and the trigger count resets when Epiphany is applied again. Deals wind damage equal to 120% of Black Swan's attack to all enemies. Her talent: every time an enemy receives dot at the start of turn, there is a 65% base chance for it to be afflicted with 1 stack of Arcana. While afflicted with Arcana, enemy targets receive wind dot equal to 240% of Black Swan's attack at the start of each turn. Each stack of Arcana increases this damage multiplier by 12%, then Arcana resets to 1 stack. Arcana can stack up to 50 times. Only when Arcana causes damage at the start of enemy's turn, Black Swan triggers additional effects based on the number of Arcana stacks inflicted on the target. When there are 3 or more Arcana stacks, deals wind dot equal to 180% of Black Swan's attack to adjacent targets, with a 65% base chance of inflicting 1 stack of Arcana on adjacent targets. When there are 7 or more Arcana stacks, enables the current dot dealt this time to ignore 20% of the target's and adjacent target's defense. For technique, after the technique is used, there is a 150% base chance for each enemy to be inflicted with 1 stack of Arcana at the start of the next battle. For each successful application of Arcana on a target, it inflicts another stack of Arcana on the same target. This process repeats until Arcana fails to be inflicted on the target. For each successful application of Arcana on a target, its base chance of success is equal to 50% of the base chance of the previous successful infliction of Arcana on the target. For bonus races, for A2, after using the skill to attack a single target enemy that has Wind Shear, Bleed, Burn, or Shock, each of these debuffs respectively has a 65% base chance of inflicting 1 extra stack of Arcana. For A4, when an enemy target enters battle, there is a 65% base chance to be inflicted with 1 stack of Arcana. Every time an enemy target receives dot during a single attack by an ally, there is a 65% base chance for the target to be inflicted with 1 stack of Arcana. The maximum number of stacks that can be inflicted during one single attack is 3. And her A6 increases this unit's damage by an amount equal to 60% of effect hit rate up to a maximum damage increase of 72%. Now for her Eidolons, her E1, while Black Swan is active in the battlefield, enemies afflicted with Wind Shear, Bleed, Burn, or Shock will have their corresponding Wind, Physical, Fire, or Lightning res respectively reduced by 25%. For E2, when an enemy target afflicted with Arcana is defeated, there is a 100% base chance of inflicting 6 stacks of Arcana on adjacent targets. For E4, while in the Epiphany state, enemy targets have their effect res reduced by 10% and Black Swan regenerates 8 energy at the start of these targets' turns or when they are defeated. This energy regeneration effect can only trigger up to 1 time while Epiphany lasts. The trigger count is reset when Epiphany is applied again. Enter E6. When an enemy target gets attacked by Black Swan's allies, Black Swan has a 65% base chance of inflicting 1 stack of Arcana on the target. Every time Black Swan inflicts Arcana on a target enemy, there is a 50% fixed chance to additionally increase the number of Arcana stacked, this time by 1. And now for the Lightcone options for Black Swan. She is working with quite a few ones you can use, but her overall best one is going to be her own signature Lightcone. which gives you a free 40% effect hit rate, effectively helping you get to the threshold you do want. When the wearer deals damage to an enemy target with dot, each respectively grants 1 stack of profit, stacking up to 4 times. In a single battle, only 1 stack of profit can be granted for each type of dot, and then every stack of profit increases the wearer's attack by 5% and enables the dot dealt to ignore 7.2 of the target's defense. So this Lightcone is just very good thanks to the good amount of effect hit rate it does also provide, and also with these stacks of profit, which is really easy to stack especially on a dot team, you get a very nice increase to attack percent, which is going to be really beneficial since dot characters love attack percent. And a bunch of that you can get the dots to ignore defense, which ignoring defense in this game is very, very powerful. So this is one of the best, if not the best Lightcone option you can use. Another really good option is actually the new character Jiaoqiu's signature Lightcone, because this Lightcone also provides you up to 60% effect hit rate. And after the wearer uses an attack to attack an enemy, there's a 60% base chance to inflict unarmored on the enemy target. And in that unarmored state, enemies take 10% increased damage for 2 turns. If the target is under dot state inflicted by the wearer, there's a 60% base chance to upgrade that unarmored state inflicted, which additionally increases the damage received by the target by 14% for 2 turns. So this is going to be extremely beneficial more to the entire team, since that person inflicted with the cornered state, and as she is someone that can actually upgrade the unarmored to cornered, she can use this Lightcone very well, and now your entire team dealing damage to that target with the cornered state is going to take that much more damage. So this is another very good option. Another really good option is actually Kafka's signature Lightcone, increasing damage dealt by 24%. After every attack launched by the wearer, their speed increases by 4.8%, stacking up to 3 times. If the wearer hits an enemy that is not afflicted with erode, there's a 100% base chance to inflict erode onto the target. Enemies afflicted with erode will be considered to be shocked and will receive lightning dot at the start of each turn, equal to 60% of the wearer's attack lasting for 1 turn. So as dot characters also do love speed, she can benefit from getting more attacks off this, and since she is quite skill point positive, because you just practically pop the skill, get the defense lower, and then you can practically just spam your basic attack. She can benefit from this a lot, and then also getting the damage out is obviously going to be very good. And then the extra dot that you can get from the erode state is also just free damage, so this is another very good option. You can also use the 4-star Eyes of the Prey, which at S5 gives you 40% effect hit rate and increases dot by 48%. So this is a nice effect hit rate stat stick, giving you as much as the signature one, so that's really good. And on top of that, increasing the dot that she will be dealing by 48%. So there really isn't much to talk about this Lightcone, but again, effect hit rate, very good. Dot increase, very, very nice. And this doesn't help with her effect hit rate or anything, but you can actually use Goodnight and Sleep Well, which at S5, for every debuff the enemy target has, the damage dealt by the wearer increases by 24%, stacking up to 3 times, and also applies to dot. So you're able to stack this 24% 3 times, giving you up to a 72% increase to damage, which is a very, very big increase. And it is very easy to stack, especially with Black Swan and her teams, because usually her teams are debuff related. Acheron being one of her best teams, being broken on dot. A lot of teams just use her with these debuffs, so it's very easy to get the full effect of this Lightcone. So fully stacked, this Lightcone is extremely good for personal damage. Again, unlike the other ones mentioned besides Kafka's, it doesn't provide any effect hit rates, so it can make the requirement you need a little more difficult, but it still gives you such a big damage increase, especially applying the dot too, so you can use this Lightcone and it'll be very good. And another option you can actually use is the Fermata Lightcone, which is a free Lightcone. And at S5, it increases break effect by 32%, and also increases their damage to enemies afflicted with shock or wind shear by 32%, and also applies a dot. And since she can inflict wind shear, she is able to use this Lightcone. Break on dot teams is actually quite powerful, since breaking the enemy on dot teams especially is very, very nice. So the actual increase to break effect is actually very helpful. It's obviously not as important as the effect hit rate thresholds, but still getting more break effect is very nice, so this is another powerful Lightcone you can use. And then another free-to-play option you can use is the, again, free-to-play It's Showtime, which when the wearer inflicts a debuff on the enemy target, gains a stack of Trick. Each stack of Trick increases the wearer's damage by 10%, stacking up to 3 times. Effect lasts for 1 turn, and when the wearer has 80% effect hit rate or higher, increases attack by 36%, which Black Swan will always want more than 80% effect hit rate. So this Lightcone is giving you a free 36% attack at S5, and on top of that, when you do inflict the debuffs, you get the damage dealt, so you can get damage dealt, and on top of that, attack percent. So this is another really good free-to-play option you can use. And now, talking about the best relic options for Black Swan, the overall best one you can actually do is the 4-piece of the dot set. The 2-piece increasing attack by 12%, and the 4-piece for every dot the target enemy is afflicted with, the wearer will ignore 6% of the target's defense when ignoring damage to them. This effect is valid for a maximum of 3 dots. So as this set is best when you're running her on a dot team with other dot characters to make use of the full effect, even if you are running her as more of a debuffer, so something like on an Acheron team, rather for her defense shred and debuff stuff rather than the actual dot. It's still going to be her overall best one you can use because it's easy just to slot around in each team, works very good as a debuffer and works perfectly as a dot character. So for the most part, this is the best one you can do. If you don't want to do that, you could just take 2-piece of it because it does 2-piece of the attack percent, so this also applies to doing something like 2-piece Musketeers or 2-piece Wind Soaring, as they all have the same attack percent. 2-piece buff as dot characters and just debuffers love attack percent, and combining that with something like the 2-piece of the debuff set, which the debuff set 2-piece increases damage dealt to enemies with a debuff by 12%, so this is just a nice increase to damage as well, which will obviously apply to the hit you do when you do hit them and will also apply to the dot, so it's just a nice damage dealt increase. And you could also take 2-piece of one of the mentioned sets and do 2-piece of the Eagle set, as that is just a nice 10% wind damage increase, and as she is a wind character, it's going to work well on her. For planet ornaments, the best one you can do is the Pan Cosmic set, increasing the wearer's effect hit rate by 10%. Meanwhile, the wearer's attack increases by an amount that is equal to 25% of the current effect hit rate, up to a maximum of 25%. So this helping with the effect hit rate that you want to get, since you're already going to be wanting to get a lot of effect hit rate to have the damage increase from her base kit. Now on top of building more effect hit rate, instead of just getting the damage dealt, you also get more attack percent thanks to this ornament. So you are getting the damage dealt from the base kit, and with this ornament, more attack percent, which is going to be very beneficial, so this is her best one. Followed by that, you could also use Glamoth, which increases the wearer's attack by 12%, and when the wearer reaches 135 speed, they deal 12% more damage, and if they have 160 speed, they deal 18% more damage. So whether you are using her for the 135 speed for the 12% more damage, then it is still going to be a really good set you can use, and if you're able to get her to hit 160 speed via some characters' buffs, like the best dot teams take Ruan Mei on it, and as she can buff speed, with those kind of buffs you are able to hit 160 speed on a dot team, which will make full use of the set, making it very, very powerful. But even if you're only able to do 135, it is still fine. And if you can't do any of those, then you can use everyone's favorite, Space Ceiling Station, giving you 12% attack, and when you have 120 speed or higher, which you practically always will on Black Swan, you get an additional 12%, giving you a free 24% attack increase. For the main sets on the Relic, for the body, you want to have effect hit rate. You could also do attack percent, but that implies that you are able to hit the effect hit rate amount that you do want to have on her with just subsets, which is kind of difficult. It's more doable if you do have something like Jiaoqiu's signature Lightcone with a 60% effect hit rate, but if you can't hit the amount you want, you mainly want to do effect hit rate body. For the feet, you want speed. For the orb, you want wind damage. You can also do attack percent orb. If you have a better attack percent orb, then you have a better wind orb, then just use the attack percent one. But if you have a slightly better wind orb, then just use that one. And for the link orb, you want attack percent. For the substats, you want to prioritize getting effect hit rate until you have around 120% to make use of the full damage bonus that she can get via her kit. And if you are using the Pan Cosmic, this will also help with that. So get at least around 120% effect hit rate. And then you want to focus on getting the speed to breakpoints, so 134 or higher. And then anything past that is just attack percent. Break effect, as she's a dot character, you don't really have to care about crits for her, so attack percents can be more beneficial. And then as I mentioned earlier, break on these kind of characters are good, so you can go for that. So once again, effect hit rate so you have around 120%, then focus on getting speed rolls so you have at least breakpoint, and then past that is just attack percent and effect hit rate. And yeah, that is the full build guide for Black Swan, taking you over her kit and Eidolons, Lightcone options, Relic options, and Relic recommendation on the stats. Let me know how you're going to be building her. Hope you found the video helpful. Peace out.